Jeff Passan from Yahoo Sports got something that you and I, frankly, haven't gotten in 3.5 years, and that's an interview with Ichiro Suzuki himself. Now, Jeff was on the record very adamant. It took him 5 years to get that interview, but he's spent some time in Kansas City.
2 more years, we'll get it.
That's exactly right. Talking to Ichiro, talking to him about Buck O'Neil, but also for us, in our case here, talking to him about the future and what that future involves here in Seattle.
Well, and you got to kind of read through the quotes and try and decipher what Ichiro's trying to say. It sounds as if Ichiro would like to come back. Yep. It sounds as if Ichiro has no intention of retiring at the end of this year. And it sounds as if he's a little miffed that the Mariners have yet to put forth a big-time deal or something to his liking, that's got to be a two-way street. Now, that's not surprising from him. It may be surprising to us, right? I think the way we view Ichiro at this stage is not as somebody who deserves a long-term big-money deal. But to the all-time greats, and Ichiro is definitely among them, they expect to play better. Every time they miss a three-pointer, Ray Allen expects to hit the next one. Ichiro's the same way. Every time he hits 260, he expects to hit 300 the next year, and that's the way the greats are.
And as Jeff alluded to in that interview today, this is going to be a real challenge. How do you deal with the Hall of Famer? How do you deal with Ichiro? Now, Ken Griffey Jr. was a little different story. Ken Griffey Jr. wanted to leave. He wanted to get back closer to home, even though he was ours at 18 years old with the big smile and the hat turned around. He wanted to leave. He wanted to get away from Seattle. That doesn't sound like that's the case with Ichiro. In fact, those quotes say very clearly this isn't a two-way deal. I have my deal, but the team has to do their deal. How do you handle a guy that will be a Hall of Famer that for 10 years here was a robot, was a machine with 200 hits? Likability can't come into play here. Likability and as much as we respect Ichiro, that cannot come into play. No, what's got to come into play is world championship.
That's right. You don't have the budget to be dictating and allowing that much to go to a player that is no longer worth making that much money, and especially given the position he plays and the output he has for that position, just doesn't make sense anymore. The last quote from Ichiro says that if he had never come to America and played here for the last decade or so, he would never have been in the pain he's in now. Now, what does that mean? We don't know. Passan tried to follow up a couple of times, never really got a sufficient answer from Ichiro, who wanted to move on and change the conversation. Why is he in pain? Could it be that it's difficult for him to watch himself struggle and to be part of that? Could it be the pain of not getting that big contract offer yet that he wants and that I've heard is out there potentially for him when all is said and done? Very difficult to know.
All I know, this conversation, it can kind of be a pain too.